The siren. Lights blazed behind us. I pulled over. My hands shook. Stay calm. He'll see you're in labor and help. Right? The officer strutted over like he was walking a red carpet. Stocky, crew cut, mirrored sunglasses. Officer Brad Gilmore. License and registration. Sir, my wife is in labor. We're going to City Memorial. She's crowning. Not my problem. You people always got an excuse.
Please, my baby.
He leaned in to look at her, then pulled back with disgust. Trying to bring another black baby into this world just so she can end up on food stamps or shot in a drive-by? Tisk. Should have kept your legs closed, ma'am. What the hell is wrong with you? One more word, and I'll drag you out, boy. Don't test me.
Andre, please.
He forced me out of the car, did a field sobriety test, accused me of being high. 25 agonizing minutes passed while my wife screamed and bled. When he finally let us go, we raced to the hospital. But it was too late. Our daughter didn't make it. She was born without a heartbeat. They tried to revive her. Failed. I held Tasha's hand as she howled in the delivery room. Her fingers clutched mine like she was trying to stay tethered to reality. My name is Andre Banks, and I'm a 34-year-old software engineer. My wife and I are both immigrants from Haiti, and we are based in Baton Rouge. My wife, Tasha, is a nurse. Sharp, kind, and the strongest woman I know. We've been married for 5 years, and for 3 of those, we tried everything to have a baby. IVF, hormone shots, prayer circles, you name it. We cried over negative tests, mourned early losses. So when we finally got the good news that she was pregnant, and that the pregnancy was viable, we treated that child like royalty from the womb. We were having a girl. We named her Imani. It means faith. On the morning of her birth, July 3rd, the contractions came hard and sudden. Tasha gripped my arm, sweat dotting her forehead.
Andre, I think it's time. She's coming, now.
Okay, baby, breathe. I got the bag. Let's get you there. We jumped into our car, hazard lights flashing. I was going about 10 over the speed limit. Empty roads, early morning. But then, the siren. Lights blazed behind us. I pulled over. My hands shook. Stay calm. He'll see you're in labor and help. Right? The officer strutted over like he was walking a red carpet. Stocky, crew cut, mirrored sunglasses. Officer Brad Gilmore. License and registration. Sir, my wife is in labor. We're going to City Memorial. She's crowning. Not my problem. You people always got an excuse.
Please, my baby.
He leaned in to look at her, then pulled back with disgust. Trying to bring another black baby into this world just so she can end up on food stamps or shot in a drive-by? Tisk. Should have kept your legs closed, ma'am. What the hell is wrong with you? One more word, and I'll drag you out, boy. Don't test me.
Andre, please.
He forced me out of the car, did a field sobriety test, accused me of being high. 25 agonizing minutes passed while my wife screamed and bled. When he finally let us go, we raced to the hospital. But it was too late. Our daughter didn't make it. She was born without a heartbeat. They tried to revive her. Failed. I held Tasha's hand as she howled in the delivery room. Her fingers clutched mine like she was trying to stay tethered to reality. And I felt numb, hollow. A week later, we buried Imani in a tiny white casket. People told us to be strong, but all I wanted was justice, and I wasn't alone. Our next-door neighbor, Miss Edwina, was also Haitian, well into her 70s, a retired school teacher known in our area for being sharp-tongued, deeply spiritual, and a little mysterious. After word got out that we'd lost the baby, Miss Edwina showed up on our porch that evening. She wore a black scarf on her head, rosary beads in one hand, and a satchel slung over her shoulder that smelled faintly of ashes and rain.
I heard what that demon in uniform did to you and Tasha.
Yeah, we're trying to move on.
Don't! Not yet. Some people don't deserve peace. Some people need visitors in the night.
I looked up. Her eyes burned like twin coals.
He took a child's breath for nothing. That can't go unanswered.
She stepped closer.
I will curse him.
Miss Edwina.
You don't have to believe it, but you will watch it happen. All I need is a picture of him. Clear, eyes showing. I'll take care of the rest.
I hesitated.
This voodoo, it will not kill him, but it will break him. Happiness will leave his bones. He will slap without knowing, shout at shadows, see crying children in mirrors. He will fall apart in public, in uniform. And every time he thinks of peace, something will scratch it away.
She reached into her satchel and placed a small, carved wooden idol on our porch table.
Give me the picture by midnight. Let the spirits do the rest.
And I did. A few days later, before anything strange began happening to Officer Gilmore, I started hearing other stories. Like the teenage boy he arrested last spring for resisting, even though body cam footage showed the kid had his hands up. Or the homeless veteran he maced for panhandling near a grocery store, then laughed as he called for animal control. Even worse, there was the pregnant Latina woman he pushed face down during a traffic stop. She went into early labor. Her baby survived, but barely. Gilmore wasn't just cruel. He enjoyed it. He didn't just enforce the law. He hunted people with it. And that's why, when his madness began, when he started slapping officers, screaming about baby cries and invisible bugs, I didn't feel guilt, just justice. Because Miss Edwina's spirits had arrived, and they don't knock, they drag. Gilmore was back on duty. He stopped another black couple, again, insulting them. Only this time, something snapped. He started shaking, muttering. "Why are there snakes? Why are there snakes on my arms?" He slapped himself, screamed, then slapped the driver, twice. The driver called internal affairs. Next day, he slapped his own partner mid-shift, screamed, "Get the bugs off me." They tested him. No drugs, no illness, just madness. They demoted him, then suspended him. It got worse. He'd be caught muttering on his porch in his underwear, swatting invisible birds. He punched his neighbor, thinking it was a gang member. He was brought back into the force and was called up for a police station meeting. Before the meeting even started, he slapped the chief during roll call. They dragged him away in cuffs, babbling about demons, about the black baby that won't stop crying. He landed in jail, pending psychiatric evaluation. But fate wasn't done with him. Turns out, some of the inmates he'd put away recognized him. And they'd all seen the leaked video of our daughter's story. "It's Officer Baby Killer. What's wrong, Gilmore? Ghosts got your tongue?" He was beaten, mocked, pants stolen. At one point, they shaved half his head and wrote racist on his chest with toothpaste. And then, he confessed to something else. In his ravings, he talked about using gang members, contacts from his old neighborhood. He'd take bribes to look away when they ran drugs or beat someone up. He even once, accidentally, shot a suspect in the leg for a gang boss who paid him. It was all recorded in his psych eval. The department was forced to reopen dozens of cases tied to him. By the time he was transferred to the state mental hospital, he was known across social media as the baby killer cop. And I visited him once. From behind the glass, he stared at me like I was made of shadows. "She screams every night. Imani? I didn't know her name, I didn't know. She knows yours, so does Miss Edwina. Rest well, officer." Today, Tasha and I are still healing. We haven't tried again, not yet. We're not rushing it. But every first of the month, we place a white lily next to Imani's grave. And every time the wind blows gently through the trees, I like to think it's her smiling. As for Gilmore, last I heard, he smeared his own feces on the wall of his hospital room and tried to baptize a nurse. They keep him strapped down most days. You don't always get justice in this world, but sometimes your neighbor practices voodoo. So the moral of the story is, don't be a racist cop, especially when the grieving father has a Haitian neighbor who talks to spirits and knows where to get graveyard dust. And if you're gonna be evil, don't put it on camera, post it in forums, and definitely don't slap your boss while hallucinating a baby ghost. Because karma, y'all. She Haitian and she petty. Now go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell like it's Officer Gilmore's last brain cell trying to escape. Because around here, we don't forget, we hex.
I know it's hard. I'm so sorry. My parents came in. I didn't know who called them. They looked unusually gentle. My mother stroked my hair for the first time since she had me. but it felt so wrong. I hated that they were pitying me. I hated everything.
It's for the best, Sally. You can start over now.
This wasn't meant to be your path anyway. You should be glad you lost her.
Their words sounded so cruel. I wanted to chase them out, but I was too weak to even cry. After spending 2 whole weeks at the hospital, I went home empty-handed. Months later, I was at their house unannounced to pick up a box I'd left behind the previous day, when I heard a conversation that shattered everything.
The baby is doing well. Mark's parents are over the moon.
They've already started the inheritance paperwork. We're set. I'm so glad we stole the baby. Mark's family wouldn't have thought about giving us the inheritance.
Good thing Sally bought the story. She's too broken to question it.
We couldn't let her ruin this. Emily needed a child, and Sally didn't deserve one. How could she take care of a child when she doesn't even have a husband? My Emily deserves the child more than her.
I love you both so much. I'm glad it worked out perfectly. No one suspects a thing. When the baby's grown, she'd look at Sally and not know she's her mother.
I was born into a family that didn't want me. My parents, John and Mary, had their hearts set on one child, and that was my older sister, Emily. She was their everything, their perfect daughter, their shining star. When I came along as a mistake they hadn't planned, they made sure I knew it. They didn't hold back their disgust. Never.
You were never supposed to happen, Sally. One child was enough, and that was Emily. You're just extra weight. We didn't need you messing up our lives.
Those words stuck with me, repeating in my head like a song I couldn't stop hearing. Every day they reminded me I was nothing compared to Emily, their golden girl who could do no wrong. Growing up, Emily was everything I wasn't. She walked like she owned the world, always polite, always charming, always perfect. My parents gave her all their love, their smiles, their time. Me? I got their cold stares and sharp tongues. If I dared to speak up, they'd shut me down fast.
Be quiet, Sally. Nobody asked you. Why can't you be more like Emily? She doesn't cause trouble.
Emily wasn't kind either. She'd watch me struggle, a mean glint in her eyes, like she enjoyed seeing me hurt. I tried to win her over, hoping for a sister who'd care, but she'd just laugh and turn away. I remember one summer when I was 9. I worked so hard on a model rocket for the school science fair. Every night I glued pieces together, painted them carefully, and checked every detail. It wasn't perfect, but I was so proud of it. When the fair came, I won 2nd place. I ran home, excited to show them, thinking maybe this time they'd see me.
What's this? 2nd place? That's nothing to brag about. Emily won 1st in her spelling bee last week. That's what real winners do.
Honestly, Sally, why do you even try? You'll never be as good as your sister.
Don't cry about it, Sally. 2nd place is for losers who can't keep up.
Their words hurt so badly. They didn't care about my effort, my hours of work, my dreams. To them, I was invisible unless I was failing. It was always like that. My grades, my drawings, my little victories. None of it mattered. If Emily got an A, they'd throw her a party. If I got an A, they'd shrug.
Don't expect us to clap for you. Emily's the one who makes us proud. You're lucky we even let you stay in this house, Sally.
I learned to keep my head down, to hide my feelings. But deep inside, I was burning. I worked hard in school, got good grades, and held on to the dream that one day I'd leave their house and their cruelty behind. I'd lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, promising myself I'd escape their shadow. I'd build a life where I wasn't the unwanted one, where I could breathe without their voices tearing me apart. At 20, I did just that. I landed a job as a receptionist at a small insurance firm and moved into a cramped apartment across town. It wasn't very comfortable, but it was mine at least, and I felt free. A year later, Emily married Mark, a known businessman with a wealthy family. The wedding was a spectacle. I was there, smiling through the ache in my chest, genuinely happy for her despite our past. I wanted to believe we could still be sisters, that love could bridge the gap they'd carved between us. 2 years passed, and cracks appeared in Emily's perfect life. She and Mark hadn't had a child yet, and people had started whispering about it. Mark's family, who were old-fashioned and obsessed with legacy, began pressuring them. Whenever I was invited to family gatherings and saw Emily, I always felt because. She looked lost and barely even smiled or spoke. Most times, when I couldn't bear it, I'd pull her aside to talk to her. Don't listen to them, Em. You'll have a baby when the time's right. Or there's adoption. You've got options.
You don't get it, Sally. Mark's parents think I'm failing him. They're unbearable. I'm so tired. I already regret getting married.
When I noticed her voice trembling and saw her eyes getting teary, I hugged her. I wanted to be her rock, because she was still my sister, no matter what. A while later, I found out I was pregnant. The father was David, my ex-boyfriend, a kind-hearted guy who'd left 2 months earlier to chase his football career abroad. We'd parted on good terms, both knowing the distance was too much. When I found out about my pregnancy, I panicked so hard. I tried calling him, leaving voicemails that went unanswered. I understood that his life was a whirlwind of training camps and matches. That's the exact reason we broke up. I realized I was alone, staring down at a future I hadn't planned. I didn't want to tell my family, but it didn't go as planned. My mother noticed my nausea one Sunday at a family dinner, and the truth spilled out.
Pregnant? Out of wedlock? You've shamed us.
What did we expect from you? Always a disappointment.
This is so typical. You can't even keep a man, and now this? Gosh, I can't believe you.
When I tried to speak, they shut me up. When I burst into tears, they laughed at me. I grabbed my bag and left. From then on, every visit was torture. They'd mock my swelling belly, call me a slut under their breath, and ignore me when I tried to speak. My mother once slapped me when I attempted to stand up for myself.
Sally, you should be grateful we're still letting you in this house. No one else would.
I'd lie awake at night, hands on my stomach, fighting the darkness their words dragged me into. I was on the edge of breaking, but my baby kept me going. She was like a light in the storm. The day I gave birth was full of so much pain and hope. At the hospital, I pushed through hours of labor, my body screaming until I heard her cry. I was filled with joy. I managed to hold her for a moment before I passed out. When I woke, a nurse was standing there looking at me pitifully. I didn't understand until she told me what happened.
I'm so sorry. There were complications. Your baby didn't make it.
No, that's a stupid lie. I heard her. She was alive. I heard my baby cry.
I know it's hard. I'm so sorry.
My parents came in. I didn't know who called them. They looked unusually gentle. My mother stroked my hair for the first time since she had me, but it felt so wrong. I hated that they were pitying me. I hated everything.
It's for the best, Sally. You can start over now.
This wasn't meant to be your path anyway. You should be glad you lost her.
Their words sounded so cruel. I wanted to chase them out, but I was too weak to even cry. After spending 2 whole weeks at the hospital, I went home empty-handed. Months later, I was at their house unannounced to pick up a box I'd left behind the previous day, when I heard a conversation that shattered everything.
The baby is doing well. Mark's parents are over the moon.
They've already started the inheritance paperwork. We're set. I'm so glad we stole the baby. Mark's family wouldn't have thought about giving us the inheritance.
Good thing Sally bought the story. She's too broken to question it.
We couldn't let her ruin this. Emily needed a child, and Sally didn't deserve one. How could she take care of a child when she doesn't even have a husband? My Emily deserves the child more than her.
I love you both so much. I'm glad it worked out perfectly. No one suspects a thing. When the baby's grown, she'd look at Sally and not know she's her mother.
They burst into laughter. Rage and clarity hit me at once. They'd stolen my daughter and handed her to Emily to secure Mark's family fortune because the inheritance was tied to producing an heir. I left quietly and vowed to uncover the truth and get back my daughter. I started with the hospital. I marched in, demanded my records, and wouldn't leave until they handed them over. A sympathetic clerk finally relented, and there I saw it. My daughter didn't die. She was a healthy female infant. No complications, no death. The only thing was just a lie they'd fed me. My daughter was alive, and they'd taken her from me. I stormed into their house with the papers clutched in my hand and confronted them. Emily was also there. You stole my baby, she's alive, and you gave her to Emily. How could you do that to me?
You're hysterical. Your baby died, Sally.
Get out. You're embarrassing yourself. I guess you're drunk.
You're jealous because I have what you can't.
No, you have what belongs to me. When did you get pregnant, Emily? You were never pregnant. How come you suddenly have a child right after I lost mine?
Well, adoption exists.
No, adoption doesn't work that way. How dare you lie to me to my own face? I hate y'all. I'm gonna get my child back. I swear on my life. I knew they were scared. I was going to get my child back, but I knew I couldn't do it alone. David came back into my life just in time. He'd returned from abroad because his career stalled by an injury and tracked me down after hearing rumors. When we met, I told him what happened. He knew about how my parents treated me before, but this was extreme for him, especially since the child belonged to him.
They did what? Sally, we're getting her back. I'll pay for everything.
We swung into action. He hired a lawyer named Rachel who dug into the case with ferocity. We gathered evidence. From my medical records to a recorded call where Emily was thanking a nurse for helping them steal my baby, then to a hospital orderly who admitted, under pressure, that my parents had paid him off. The legal battle was brutal. Emily and Mark fought dirty, claiming I was unstable and unfit to take care of a child. Their lawyer painted me as a spiteful sister out for revenge. But Rachel was relentless, exposing their forged adoption papers and the bribe trail. Finally, the ruling day came after weeks of fighting.
The evidence is irrefutable. Custody of the child, Lily, is awarded to Sally and David.
I cried as they placed her in my arms. Emily screamed, and Mark couldn't stop cursing, but they'd lost. I'd have sent them to jail, but I was okay having my daughter back with me. The nurse and doctor involved in the crime had their license seized. As for Emily and Mark, the inheritance slipped through their fingers, and Mark's family cut them off, furious at the scandal. The fallout was very swift. Emily and Mark, drowning in debt without the inheritance, showed up at my parents' house, begging to hide from collectors. My parents let them in, of course. One day, I was there, dropping off a final letter severing ties and a restraining order, when the doorbell rang. Two rough-looking men stood outside asking for Mark. "Oh, he's inside, with Emily and my parents. They've been expecting you." I walked away as their shouts echoed behind me. Later, I heard they'd been roughed up, forced into grueling jobs to pay off what they owed. My parents broke the restraining order when they came to my house to beg for forgiveness. I called the cops on them, and after a week, they were bundled to jail to spend 8 months there. David and I moved to his mansion in another town for a fresh start. He took a coaching job and helped me secure a remote job. We'll be getting married in 2 months, and I'm so happy. Months after losing custody, Mark was arrested for financial fraud he committed during their desperate attempts to stay afloat. Emily, now alone and disgraced, was forced to take humiliating jobs just to survive. But I wasn't done yet. I arranged a live, televised DNA test that left no room for doubt. Lily was biologically mine. The moment the results were read, Emily had a full-blown meltdown on camera. The footage exploded online, going viral within hours. Millions watched as the truth unraveled, and public opinion turned vicious. Emily and Mark became social pariahs overnight. They lost their clients, their reputations, and any ounce of respect they once had. People hurled insults at Emily in public, calling her a baby thief, spitting at her feet, even chasing her off sidewalks. With Mark now rotting in prison and her life in ruins, Emily sank into depression. She ended up flipping burgers at a greasy fast food joint just to survive. Sometimes she'd visit Mark in prison, or our parents who were also behind bars, serving time for helping cover it all up. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you loved the story.
And that was that. I hung up feeling my jaw tighten. That cheap rent suddenly didn't feel like a favor. It felt like a trap. From then on, the Callahan kids doubled down. Every week, it was something new. Tyler would park his truck halfway across my driveway, blocking me in. Chloe would let her cat roam around my garden, knocking over potted plants. They even threw a birthday party one night and used my backyard fence as a photo backdrop, leaving glitter and balloons everywhere. The breaking point came 2 months later. I had just finished rearranging my living room, proud of how I'd set up my shelves with all my books. Rare novels, old history volumes, some first editions I'd collected over the years. That night, I went out for dinner with friends. When I came back, my front door was slightly ajar. My stomach dropped. I pushed it open and stepped inside. The air smelled faintly of cheap alcohol and cologne. My living room was trashed. Cushions on the floor, a window cracked, muddy footprints everywhere. But what froze me were the bookshelves, knocked over, books torn and scattered. And there, on my rug, in thick black marker, someone had written, "Shouldn't have snitched, nerd." When I first moved into that beige two-story house on Oak Ridge Lane, I thought I'd finally found peace. It wasn't fancy, but it had a backyard, a pool, and a quiet street where I could write in the evenings. I didn't care much about the landlord being old-fashioned. His name was Mr. Callahan, a retired army man with a voice like gravel and a handshake that felt like a dare. He made one thing clear when I signed the lease. "Now, Milton, I don't like trouble. I keep my property clean and I expect tenants who do the same. You keep your noise down, pay your rent on time, and we won't have problems." I smiled politely. "You won't have any issues for me, sir. I just need some quiet to work." He squinted like he didn't believe me, but gave a tight nod. What he didn't say, at least not then, was that his 2 adult children practically lived in the house next door and had a habit of treating everything on the property like their personal playground. Their names were Tyler and Chloe Callahan. Tyler was 22, built like a gym ad, with a trust fund swagger and a beer permanently glued to his hand. Chloe was 19, bleached hair, thick makeup, and a voice that could slice through glass. Together, they were a tornado in designer sneakers. The first week wasn't bad, but by the second, I started to notice little things. Cigarette butts in my driveway, beer bottles left on my lawn, the sound of music, loud, thumping bass from their backyard at 2 a.m. One morning, I woke up to find a frisbee floating in my pool and muddy footprints on the deck. I sighed, fished it out, and tried to ignore it. But when I came back from work that evening, the gate to my yard was wide open, and there were towels, cups, and an inflatable flamingo floating in the pool. I froze. "You've got to be kidding me." I walked closer and saw them, Tyler and Chloe, laughing with a bunch of their friends, music blasting, cans of soda and beer everywhere. They were using my pool, on my property. "Excuse me? What are you doing in my yard?" Tyler looked over his shoulder, sunglasses on, smirking. "Relax, man. We're just cooling off. You weren't home anyway." "That's the point. This is private property." Chloe rolled her eyes, sitting on the pool's edge with a margarita.
God, you sound like my dad.
I stormed inside, grabbed my phone, and called Mr. Callahan. "Sir, your kids are trespassing. They threw a party in my pool while I was gone." He paused, then gave a dry chuckle. They're just having fun, Milton. Don't be so uptight. Besides, I rented you that place for a good deal." I gripped the phone tighter. "With respect, sir, I'm paying rent for privacy, not to babysit your grown kids." He sighed. "They're family, son. Lighten up." And that was that. I hung up feeling my jaw tighten. That cheap rent suddenly didn't feel like a favor. It felt like a trap. From then on, the Callahan kids doubled down. Every week, it was something new. Tyler would park his truck halfway across my driveway, blocking me in. Chloe would let her cat roam around my garden, knocking over potted plants. They even threw a birthday party one night and used my backyard fence as a photo backdrop, leaving glitter and balloons everywhere. The breaking point came 2 months later. I had just finished rearranging my living room, proud of how I'd set up my shelves with all my books. Rare novels, old history volumes, some first editions I'd collected over the years. That night, I went out for dinner with friends. When I came back, my front door was slightly ajar. My stomach dropped. I pushed it open and stepped inside. The air smelled faintly of cheap alcohol and cologne. My living room was trashed. Cushions on the floor, a window cracked, muddy footprints everywhere. But what froze me were the bookshelves, knocked over, books torn and scattered. And there, on my rug, in thick black marker, someone had written, "Shouldn't have snitched, nerd." My hands shook with anger. I knew exactly who did it. The police came, but there was little they could do without proof. Mr. Callahan, when I confronted him the next morning, just shrugged. "You can't prove my kids did anything. Maybe you left your door unlocked. You people always play the victim." He actually said that. You people. I walked away before I lost my temper, but inside, I was done. That was my last straw. For weeks, I barely spoke to them. I just observed, watched their habits. I knew they loved partying, showing off on social media, and sneaking into places they shouldn't. That's when an idea began to form. Not just revenge, but a lesson. It started small. The first night, I waited until Tyler had one of his boys' nights in the backyard. Around midnight, when they were laughing loud enough to wake the dead, I connected my Bluetooth speaker to their outdoor sound system. When the music cut out, they all froze. Then I played an eerie, low whisper through the speakers. "You shouldn't have entered his house, Tyler. He's watching." There was silence, then nervous laughter. "What the hell is that? Chloe, you playing a prank? Dude, that's creepy. Turn it off." I turned it off after a minute, just long enough for them to look over their shoulders all night. One weekend, I had a feeling they were going to throw another party in my pool. Sure enough, they tried. What they didn't know was that I had put a harmless chemical in the water. It would turn anyone who swam in it bright blue for a while. It didn't hurt anyone, but it was embarrassing and impossible to ignore. On Saturday, when I wasn't home, Tyler and his friends jumped in. Within minutes, their hands, arms, legs, and hair were blue. "What the? Why are we blue?"
This isn't funny. Help!
The neighbors called the police. They came, took statements, and arrested all of them for trespassing. Each of them spent 3 days in jail. I didn't feel bad. They had ignored my property and made a mess of my house for years. When they got out of jail, it didn't take long for them to try revenge. One rainy night, they burst my tires. Most people would have been angry, but I just smiled. It didn't matter. 2 days later, I did something dramatic in return. I took Tyler and Chloe's cars and hid them in a forest far from the city. I didn't steal them permanently, just made sure they couldn't be used for a while. The panic on their faces when they realized their cars were gone was priceless. A few days later, I turned my attention to Tyler's and Chloe's section of the house. I broke in quietly, not to steal anything, just to teach them responsibility, and left all the taps running in Tyler's kitchen and bathroom. When Tyler got home with a girl, he found his entire section of the house soaked. "Who did this?" "Milton." He spent the whole night cleaning, mopping floors, collecting buckets, and apologizing to the water gods for all I had made him suffer. Meanwhile, I quietly borrowed Chloe's expensive handbags and hid them on the ceiling of her closet. She loved those bags for social media, and it took her a whole week to figure out where they had gone. Of course, she suspected me, but she had no proof. All of these incidents, the blue pool, jail, tires, hidden cars, soaked house, and handbags on the ceiling, shocked them. Slowly, Tyler and Chloe realized their behavior had consequences. They began to change. Tyler started helping around the house and thinking before acting. Chloe stopped showing off for social media and started caring about others instead of herself. For the first time since I moved in, I slept peacefully. Tyler even came over one day, awkward and serious. "Hey Milton, we've been jerks, I'm sorry, we'll stop messing with your stuff." Appreciate that. House feels better when it's peaceful. A few days later, Chloe brought cookies as her own apology. From that point on, they changed. Tyler helped with repairs, Chloe started waving when she saw me, and sometimes they even sat by my pool to talk. They admitted they'd been spoiled and arrogant. One night, Tyler asked if I was the one behind all the spooky tricks. I just smirked. Even their dad noticed the change, surprised at how polite the kids had become. By summer, Tyler and Chloe were almost like friends. They invited me to barbecues, helped with chores, and asked for advice. Tyler enrolled in community college. Chloe got a part-time job. The pranks, arrogance, and noise were gone. Sometimes I'd tease them lightly, like flickering the pool light red, and they'd groan. But we laughed together. Their dad even apologized to me, admitting renting to me had been a blessing because I had helped the kids grow. The house was calm now, the kids responsible, and I'd proven that revenge didn't need to be cruel, just clever. And if you enjoyed hearing how I scared 2 spoiled kids straight, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what happened when they tried to prank me back next year. She once used a disabled man at the grocery store as a prop for her prank. She pretended he had stolen her purse, then screamed and filmed the poor man until store security arrived. When they realized it was fake, the man, who had Down syndrome, was in tears. Jada laughed it off. "Y'all soft," she told her viewers. "It's a joke. Chill." Another time, she broke into Nia's locked bedroom, destroyed her art supplies, and painted her walls with ketchup. She wrote "murder prank" in red letters, then screamed at Nia, pretending someone had broken in. Nia had a panic attack. Jada made $8,000 off the video. Then one day, Nia disappeared. We all panicked, except Jada. She told everyone not to worry. Even posted a video titled, "Where's Nia?" with a clickbait thumbnail of her fake crying. She made merch with Nia's face on it, shirts that said, "Missing" or "Hiding." It went viral. Sponsors poured in. She made money off her sister's misfortune. People thought it was another one of her elaborate hoaxes. Let me tell you a story about my once famous sister. Her name was Jada. Our parents were decent, hard-working people. Mom cleaned offices. Dad worked overnight shifts as a janitor. They weren't rich, but they raised us with love, decency, and limits. But Jada wanted more. She wanted followers. She wanted fame. She wanted money. When she was 14, someone told her about YouTube. That was the start of everything. She started skipping class to film skits and reaction videos. Her grades fell. Her attitude changed. And when her channel wasn't growing fast enough, she looked at other creators and saw the trend. Pranks. They were getting millions of views, so she escalated. It started out harmless, I guess, like the time she hid my PlayStation and pretended it was stolen. But then it got cruel. She staged my expulsion from school by forging a letter and recording my tears. She faked a phone call saying our parents died in a car crash. I collapsed. She laughed. She posted that.
Bro, it's a prank. OMG, you were crying so hard. Look at this face. That's thumbnail gold.
You said Mom and Dad were dead. She didn't care. The comments gassed her up. Queen of Savage. Poor kid got wrecked. Best prank channel ever. I hated it. But what could I do? I was 13. She was 17, famous, rich, and mean. And she wasn't just targeting me. Our older sister, Nia, was 18, quiet, artsy, and kind. She hated the spotlight. That made her the perfect victim. Once, Jada poured glue into Nia's sketchbook, then posted the reaction video titled, "Artist Sister's Sketches Ruined, Not Sorry LOL," while Nia cried. Another time, Jada locked her in a closet for 3 hours, saying she was testing if Nia could survive a zombie apocalypse. Nia had asthma. She had no inhaler in the closet. She nearly passed out. When Mom screamed at Jada afterward, Jada clapped back.
Relax, y'all act like she's dead. It's content, chill. Y'all just mad I make more than both of you cleaning schools.
She had a manager, sponsors, fans. She had no soul. Then came the worst one. She pushed Nia, literally, off a skateboard ramp while filming, called it extreme push prank. Nia dislocated her shoulder and screamed. Blood ran down her arm. Jada filmed it all, giggling. Dad was furious. That's it. No more cameras, no more videos in this house.
Bet. I'll get my own place, and when I'm rich enough, don't call me.
And just like that, she packed up, rented a tacky apartment with LED walls, and told her audience she'd escaped the haters. But she kept pushing boundaries. She once used a disabled man at the grocery store as a prop for her prank. She pretended he had stolen her purse, then screamed and filmed the poor man until store security arrived. When they realized it was fake, the man, who had Down syndrome, was in tears. Jada laughed it off. Y'all soft, she told her viewers. It's a joke, chill. Another time, she broke into Nia's locked bedroom, destroyed her art supplies, and painted her walls with ketchup. She wrote "murder prank" in red letters, then screamed at Nia, pretending someone had broken in. Nia had a panic attack. Jada made $8,000 off the video. Then one day, Nia disappeared. We all panicked, except Jada. She told everyone not to worry. Even posted a video titled, "Where's Nia?" with a clickbait thumbnail of her fake crying. She made merch with Nia's face on it, shirts that said, "Missing" or "Hiding." It went viral. Sponsors poured in. She made money off her sister's misfortune. People thought it was another one of her elaborate hoaxes. So did the cops. The top comment read, "LOL, classic Jada. This better have a crazy twist." There was no twist. She filmed herself crying in front of her ring light. Full face of makeup, but tears for the algorithm.
Hey guys, this is not a prank. Nia's missing for real. I'm scared. If anyone has seen her, please contact us.
No one took it seriously. Top comment, fake tears again? Do better. Second comment, she's probably hiding for the video finale. Third comment, new low, exploiting family again. Even the police hesitated. We've been burned by her before. We thought it was content. By the time they investigated, it was too late. Nia's body was found 2 weeks later in a lake. No foul play, just a slow decline no one noticed. She left a note in her sketchbook, half soaked and unreadable. She had been hurting for a long time. Jada still tried to vlog at the funeral. Grandma smacked the phone out of her hand.
Touch that camera again and I'll bury it with her.
When the truth hit the public, that Nia was really gone, people flipped. Not with sympathy, with rage. Comment section, after truth leaked. You made your sister a storyline. She died and you cashed in. You're not a creator, you're a curse. Jada's sponsors dropped her. Her channel was demonetized, then deleted. She got doxxed. Her friends vanished.
I thought she'd come back. I didn't mean...
But no one believed her. She had profited from pain too many times. She lost her apartment because money wasn't coming in as before. She moved back home. But the shame was unbearable. So she went to Grandma's. Now Grandma ain't sweet, and Grandma is a farmer, so basically Jada lives with Grandma in her farm.
You want a roof? You work the soil. You want food? You pull weeds. You got internet? Not on my land.
Jada cried, of course, no lashes, no filters, just dirt and silence. She tried to vlog. Grandma took her phone.
You film anything here, I break your fingers.
I wish I could say Jada changed, but I don't know. She feeds chickens now, shovels manure, milk goats. Real life, not the curated, scripted circus she once ruled. She talks to herself. Sometimes she still mimics the old intro, Jada, to an invisible camera.
What's up, Savage Squad? It's your girl.
Then silence. She hasn't posted in over a year. No one's asking. When I visit Grandma, sometimes I watch her dig potatoes. She doesn't look up. One time, she came and sat beside me.
I'm sorry.
I didn't respond. Couldn't.
I destroyed our family for likes. I'd trade all of it to undo it, but I can't. I really can't.
She sobbed. No ring light, no edits, no fans, just silence. So here I am, and Nia is gone. And Jada? She's still with Grandma on the farm, picking tomatoes with blistered hands and bitten nails. The downfall wasn't done yet. One night, a YouTuber named Lexagreen, a former friend and prank collaborator, dropped a nuclear expose titled, Jada Unmasked, the real monster behind the camera. It was ugly, it was real, and it went viral overnight. In it, Lexa released never-before-seen footage of Jada mocking Nia's asthma attack, destroying her art while cackling, and whispering to the camera.
If Nia ever offed herself, I'd probably get 1 million subs overnight. Sad, but true.
People had always suspected Jada was cruel. Now, they had proof. The video hit 10 million views in 24 hours. And then came the stalker. Once her top fan, now her tormentor. He tweeted out her farm address with the hashtag, #RotWhereYouPlanted. It started as tire tracks on the driveway. Then came the teens, loud, laughing, recording. They piled out of a truck like they were visiting a zoo.
Oh my god, y'all, it's her! The murderer turned farmer!
Yo, Jada, how many subs did your sister's death get you?
Let's egg the coop! Chickens for clicks, right?
They threw trash at the porch. Spray-painted Clout Demon across the barn wall. One kid live-streamed it, narrating as he walked up to Jada, who was barefoot and shaking with rage. Where's the ring light now, huh? Cry for the camera, queen of dead sisters. Jada lunged at him, but he dodged, laughing, filming it all. That's when Grandma stepped out, shotgun in hand.
One more word and your TikTok goes up in flames permanently.
They ran. Cowards always do. Jada stood frozen, eyes wide, cheeks red from the spit someone had hurled at her. Egg yolk dripped from her hair. Her once famous face covered in dirt and disgrace. And for the first time, the girl who had once made the world laugh cried where no one would ever care. The only ghost still haunting her now was the one she couldn't monetize, Nia. Thanks for watching. Do well to subscribe to the channel. Oh wait, there's nothing left. Thanks for watching, please subscribe. My name is Marcus. I'm 36. I work nights as a remote video editor for small YouTube channels that can't afford agencies but still want their stories to look clean. I cut interviews. I clean audio. I blur faces. I make bad footage watchable. It's quiet work. Lonely work. Perfect work for someone who likes to observe more than speak. My neighborhood used to match that life. Small houses, low fences, lawns trimmed just enough to show effort. Old men who waved but never talked. Women who watered plants and minded their own business. Kids on bikes who went home before dark. At night, you could hear insects, sometimes laughter, mostly nothing. Then they moved in. A man and a woman, mid-30s, loud before the truck even stopped. Music shaking the air. Beer bottles clinking. A dog barking from inside the cab like it was already mad at the world. They didn't introduce themselves. They didn't wave. They didn't even look at anyone. They just unloaded boxes, cursed at each other, and let the dog loose without a leash. The dog ran straight into my yard and took a dump on my grass. I stood on my porch, arms crossed, watching. The man saw me. Relax, bro. It's just a dog. He didn't pick it up. He never did. The first week, I told myself they were just rough around the edges. People deserve time. People deserve grace. By the second week, sleep stopped being possible. They drank every night. Not quiet drinking, not sad drinking. Loud, angry drinking. Screaming matches that spilled into the street. Music up until 3 a.m. Bottles smashing against the side of the house. The dog barking like it was being beaten, even when it wasn't. And the kids, 2 of them. A boy, maybe 10. A girl, maybe 8. I never learned their real names. I only heard what their parents called them. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Those were their names. The first time I saw the kids clearly, it was a Monday morning. School day. I know because the other kids were waiting for the bus. These 2 weren't. They were pulling trash bags from the house to the curb, while their parents sat on the porch drinking leftover beer. Move faster. You think trash waits for you? The boy struggled with a bag bigger than him. It split. Garbage spilled out. The man stood up. Are you stupid? He shoved the boy hard enough that he fell into the trash. The girl rushed to help him.
Don't touch him. Let him learn.
The boy didn't cry. He just nodded and picked up the trash with shaking hands. I felt something twist in my chest. I told myself I didn't see it right. I told myself it wasn't my place. That lasted 3 days. On Thursday, I heard screaming. Not arguing. Screaming. High-pitched. Panicked. The kind that drills into your skull. I stepped outside. The woman was in the yard, yanking the girl by the arm.
Please, I didn't mean it.
You mean everything you do. That's the problem.
She slapped her, hard, no hesitation. The girl fell. The man laughed from the porch. That'll teach her. I called the police. My hands shook as I did it. What's the situation, sir? My neighbors are hitting their kids. Are the children in immediate danger? I looked back outside. The woman was dragging the girl inside by her hair. Yes. The police came 40 minutes later. By then, the house was quiet. 2 officers knocked. The man opened the door, beer in hand, smiling like a saint. We got a call about a disturbance. Yeah, my kids were being loud. Sorry about that. The kids stood behind him. Their eyes were dead. Did anyone hurt you? Silence. The boy shook his head. The girl stared at the floor. You're sure?
Yes.
The officers left. The man flipped me off as they walked away. Mind your business, freak. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat at my desk, staring at my camera. I edit videos for a living. I know what footage can do. I also know what fear can erase. The next day, I mounted a small security camera facing their house, not pointed at them, just wide. The first clip came 2 days later. They made the kids clean their vomit. After a drinking night, the man threw up outside.
Get the buckets.
The kids cleaned silently. The man laughed and filmed them. Smile. This is family time. I saved the clip. Then another. The woman screaming at the boy for spilling milk. She poured the rest of the carton down the sink while he watched. You're not eating tonight. I saved that too. I didn't post anything yet. I watched. Weeks passed. The abuse didn't stop. It evolved. They locked the kids outside as punishment for forgetting to do a house chore. In the rain. The camera showed them huddled under the porch, soaked, shaking. Think about your choices. The girl whispered.
I'm sorry.
The rain got louder. They started pulling the kids out of school. I found out because the bus stopped coming for them. Instead, the kids left early in the morning with tools. Lawnmowers, buckets, cleaning supplies. The man shouted orders. You don't learn math, you learn work. The boy's hands were always cut. The girl's shoes had holes. One night, I heard the boy coughing. Stop faking. Deep. Wet. The man yelled. I called CPS. They scheduled a visit. The parents cleaned the house. The kids lied. Nothing happened. So they continued. They forced the kids to work for neighbors and kept the money. The camera showed the boy mowing lawns from sunrise to evening. A neighbor handed him cash. Give it here. Can I keep some? Silence. Then the sound of impact. The boy handed over the money with both hands, eyes down. That was when something in me broke. I didn't feel heroic. I felt angry. Quietly angry. The kind that doesn't burn out. I edited the footage. I blurred the kids' faces. I made a channel. No name, no branding, just uploads. Titles were simple. Neighbors, night. Monday morning. Listen closely. I didn't narrate. I let the footage speak. At first, nobody watched. Then one clip got shared. Then another. Comments started appearing.
This is messed up. Someone help those kids. Why aren't the cops doing anything?
I uploaded more. The parents noticed the attention before they noticed me. The man came to my fence one afternoon. You recording us? I record my yard. It's legal. Point that thing somewhere else. He stared at me like he was memorizing my face. Accidents happen. That night, my tires were slashed. I uploaded that too. The audience grew. People recognized the house. It's a small town. Someone found the man's workplace. A warehouse. He got fired. I didn't post that. Someone else did. The drinking got worse. The yelling got louder. The punishments got crueler. They made the kids stand outside in the cold. They locked the pantry. They laughed about it. Teaches discipline. One night, the dog ran away. They blamed the kids. The boy took the beating. I didn't upload that clip. I uploaded the sound. Viewers started showing up. Not to hurt. At first. They parked across the street and watched. They filmed too. The parents screamed at them. The viewers laughed. Someone mailed CPS a hard drive. Someone else sent the school footage. The pressure built. Slow. Heavy. The woman started crying on the porch.
They're ruining our lives.
I'll shut them up. He tried. He smashed my camera. I replaced it. He tried again. I added more. The final night came quietly. No music, no yelling, just sirens. The man was drunk. He tried to drive. He hit a pole and died. The woman screamed into the street. The kids sat on the curb, wrapped in blankets. They didn't cry. This time, they told the truth to the police officer about how their parents had been maltreating them. The woman was arrested. The court came later. The kids sat with social workers, clean clothes, still scared. The woman stood alone. The judge looked down at her. You are charged with child abuse, neglect, and forced labor.
I'm their mother.
A mother protects. The boy raised his hand. You can speak. She said pain was love. The girl spoke next.
She said nobody would believe us.
The courtroom felt heavy. The judge closed his file. I believe you. The sentence came slow. You will serve a long prison term. The woman screamed again.
They're mine.
Not anymore. The gavel hit. The house was sold. The car was sold. Everything inside was sold. The money was kept for the kids. They went to foster care, a quiet home, clean beds, real food. The first day of school came. The foster mother smiled.
You're safe here.
The kids held backpacks like treasures. They walked to the bus. They didn't look back. And the street became quiet again, just like before. Only this time, evil didn't live next door anymore. The channel is still there. I don't upload anymore. The comments still come. You saved them. I don't feel like a savior. I feel like a witness who finally stopped looking away. The grass is growing back. The nights are quiet. And if you enjoyed watching Karma work on a slow schedule, like, subscribe, and maybe keep your camera charged.